Yeah. Hello friends. Welcome to AIMS YouTube channel. So in these days now we are going with the AIMS India live sessions. In this video we are going to discuss about a chemistry subject. From that, different types of chemical reactions. So this is there for generally 10th class students. Coming 10th class students, they are having as first chapter in physical science subject. It is from chemistry part. It is the first chapter. Types of chemical reactions. It is one of the parts of chemical reactions and equations. So in that it is one of the parts about types of chemical reactions. So here we go with it. There are different types of chemical reactions. Out of them, some important types of chemical reactions we are going to discuss in this session. They are combination reactions, decomposition reactions, displacement reactions, and double displacement reactions. So these are some important chemical reactions which we come across while studying about chemistry subject and different concepts in chemistry. So let us say about these different types of chemical reactions one by one. First among them is combination reactions. Those reactions in which two or more substances combine to form a single substance are called as combination reactions. That means in some chemical reactions, two or more substances, they will be combining to form a new substance. Such reactions are called as combination reactions. For example, if you see this A is a chemical substance and B is a chemical substance. These two are combining to form a new compound AB. So here two substances combined to form a new substance. Such kind of reactions are called as combination reactions. So in a combination reaction, two or more elements can combine to form a compound. Means in this combination reaction, sometimes only two elements can combine to form a compound. In some chemical reactions, two or more compounds can combine to form a new substance or new compound. In some other chemical reactions or chemical combination reactions, an element and a compound can be combining to form a new compound. Means here the combination of different substances may occur. In the combination reactions, only two elements may combine, or in certain chemical combination reactions, only two compounds may combine. In certain chemical combination reactions, a compound and an element may combine to form a new chemical compound. So they are all coming under chemical combination reactions. In these all, two or more substances combining to form new substance. So that combination may be in between two elements or between two compounds, or might be in between an element, an element and a compound. So let us see here different examples for these combination reactions. So hydrogen burns in oxygen to form water. So what is happening here? Hydrogen burning in the presence of oxygen to form water. Means here oxygen and hydrogen are the chemicals participating in the reaction. Water is formed. So two substances combined to form water. So it is a combination reaction. We can see here hydrogen combined with oxygen to form water. In this reaction, two elements, hydrogen and oxygen, combined to form a single compound, water. So this is an example for combination reaction. So hydrogen gas when burned in the presence of oxygen, forming water vapor. Actually, water won't be in the form of liquid here generally. It will be in the vapor form because hydrogen burning in the presence of oxygen. So water is formed but in the form of vapor. Here, two elements, hydrogen and oxygen, combined to form a compound, water. So it is a combination reaction. One more example it is shown here. Ammonia reacts with hydrogen chloride to form ammonium chloride. Here you can see reaction for this. Ammonia is a compound. Hydrogen chloride is also a compound, and forming finally ammonium chloride compound. So in this type of combination reaction, what is happening? Two compounds they are combining to form a new compound. In the previous example, you have seen two elements they are combining to form a new compound. In this example, formation of ammonium chloride, ammonia and hydrogen chloride, two compounds they have combined to form a new compound, ammonium chloride. So as we told, in this reaction, two compounds, ammonia and hydrogen chloride, combined together to produce a new compound, ammonium chloride. So this ammonium chloride formed will be like a white dense fumes. So when these two gases colorless, actually hydrogen chloride and ammonia, they will be colorless. When these two combined, immediately white dense fumes formed between the two gases. That indicates the formation of ammonium chloride. So anyhow, it is a combination reaction between two compounds. Let us see one more example. Carbon monoxide reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So here we can see reaction like this. Carbon monoxide is a compound. Oxygen is an element. Finally, they are forming a new compound, carbon dioxide. So what kind of combination reaction it is? The combination of a compound and an element to form a new compound. So three different kinds of combinations we have seen here. Combination reaction between two elements, combination reaction between two compounds. This is example, formation of carbon dioxide from carbon monoxide and oxygen is a combination between compound and an element. So in this reaction, carbon monoxide is a compound, carbon monoxide reacts. It is a monoxide. Carbon monoxide compound reacts with oxygen element to form a new compound, carbon dioxide. Hence, it is also a combination reaction, but it is in between compound and an element. Are you understanding this? What is compound? What is element? Do you know what is compound here? The substance which is formed by the combination of two or more elements. If you see carbon monoxide, we are telling as a compound. Why? Because it is formed by the chemical reaction of carbon and oxygen. Two elements are there in this. So this is formed by the composition of two elements. Such kind of substances which are formed by the two or more kinds of elements are called compounds. If it is made up of only one kind of atoms, then that is called an element. If you say oxygen is told as an element, it is made up of only one kind of atoms, those are oxygen atoms. Hence it is an element. If you see carbon dioxide, is it an element, a compound? Yes, it is a compound because it is formed by the combination of more than one kind of atoms. Carbon atoms are there, oxygen atoms are there. Hence it is a compound. So they are the different types of combination reactions. Now let us see the second category in a chemical reaction, that is decomposition reactions. Those reactions in which a compound splits up into two or more simpler substances are known as decomposition reactions. If you see diagrammatic explanation is given. If AB is a compound, after the reaction splits into A and B, two simpler substances, then that reaction is called decomposition reaction. The decomposition reactions are carried out by applying either heat, light, electricity. So to decompose a substance into two or more new substances, it needs either heat or electricity or sunlight. In the presence of these decomposition reactions generally occur. Let us see examples for these three. When calcium carbonate is heated, it decomposes to give calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So here we are heating this calcium carbonate, like it is called limestone also. It is taken in a bowl and it is heated strongly. Then water vapor, this carbon dioxide is coming out in the form of gas, it is going out, and white substance is remained back, that is calcium oxide. So what is happening here? A substance is decomposed by heating. What is the substance? Calcium carbonate. So calcium carbonate decomposed into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide by supplying heat. So when a decomposition reaction is carried out by heating, it is called thermal decomposition also. It is also called thermal decomposition. Thermal means heating. So the decomposition which is carried out by heating process is called thermal decomposition. So here the decomposition of calcium carbonate is a thermal decomposition reaction. So we can say equation for that: calcium carbonate on heating or by thermal decomposition forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. In this reaction, one substance, calcium carbonate, is breaking up into two simpler substances, calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So this is a decomposition reaction. Decomposition means decomposition, separating into simpler, simply to say. Let us see one more example. Some decomposition reactions, so this they occur by carrying out electricity. Example they have given here: when electric current is passed through acidified water, it decomposes to give hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. When electricity is passed through water, it splits up into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Actually, we know water is a poor conductor of electricity. So to make it good conductor, a small quantity of acid is added. Then that water is called acidified water. Water added with a small quantity of acid is known as acidified water. Why that acid is added? To make water good conductor of heat and electricity. So to this acidified water, if electricity is passed, then this water will be decomposed into respective elements, hydrogen and oxygen. So it is also called electrolysis, and it is undergoing decomposition here. So we can say equationally, when water is undergone electrical decomposition, it forms hydrogen and oxygen, two separate elements. This is called decomposition. So, so this equipment will be like this. For the decomposition of or electrolysis of water will be done in this kind of equipment. So here water is taken or acidified water is taken, two electrodes are inserted, electricity is passed into the container, then water present in this container splits into hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen is eliminated and collected into one test tube, and the hydrogen gas is collected in this test tube. So here what is happening? Water splitting up into two simpler substances. That is called decomposition. And here water is decomposed in the presence of electricity, and hence this is also called electrolysis of water. Electro means electricity. Lysis means splitting into simpler substances. Electrolysis means splitting of a substance into simpler substances in the presence of electricity. Water is splitting into simpler hydrogen and oxygen in the presence of electricity. Hence it is called electrolysis of water. Next example, the decomposition reaction which is carried out in the presence of light energy. When silver chloride is exposed to sunlight, it decomposes to form silver metal and chlorine gas. Here we can see example equationally, silver chloride initially if it is kept in the sunlight, it splits into silver and chlorine gases. So this is a decomposition reaction in which a compound splitting into two simpler elements in the presence of light or sunlight. Hence this is called decomposition reaction which is occurring in the presence of light energy. That is why generally this silver chloride chemical substance is always closed or stored in brown colored or dark colored glass bottles. We can see in the chemical laboratory so many chemical substances. Out of them, if you observe silver chloride, it won't be stored in transparent glass bottles. It is always stored in brown colored or dark colored glass bottles, because if it is kept in a transparent glass bottle, because of the sunlight, the silver chloride present in that transparent glass bottle splits into silver and chlorine. So chlorine gas will be evaporated off. So no more silver chloride will be available in that container. So to protect it from the sunlight, always silver chloride is stored under dark bottles or brown colored bottles. So this is one of the types of decomposition reactions. Next, let us see third type, that is displacement reactions. Those reactions in which one element takes the place of another element in a compound are known as displacement reactions. That means the chemical reactions in which one element takes the place of another element in a compound is known as displacement reaction, or this is also simply called as simple displacement reactions. You can see a diagrammatic example here. AB is a compound. When this AB is reacting with C, C is taking the place of A. So A is coming out. What is happening here? C is taking the place of A and A is coming out from the compound. New compound BC is formed. This kind of reactions in which one element replaces the another element from a compound and a new compound is formed, those reactions are called as chemical displacement reactions or simply simple displacement reactions. In general, a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its compound. We told here C displacing A from AB. This can be happened only when C is more reactive than A. If C is more stronger, it can kick out A from its compound. So, more reactive elements displaces less reactive elements from their compounds, and hence more reactive elements compound will be formed. This less reactive element will come out in the form of elements. Such kind of reactions are called displacement reactions. Let us see examples for that. When a strip of zinc metal is placed in copper sulfate solution, then zinc displaces zinc sulfate solution and copper are obtained. This happens when zinc displaces copper from copper sulfate. So zinc sulfate is formed. Copper metal will be omitted out. So this is equationally. If we initially take copper sulfate solution, we know copper sulfate solution in the blue color. When a zinc piece or some metal pieces of zinc are dropped into this copper sulfate solution, this zinc will, as being more reactive than copper, it will displace copper from its compound. Copper will come out. So here zinc will take the place of copper and copper zinc sulfate is formed, which is a colorless solution. So brown colored precipitate will be formed because of the formation of copper. So in this reaction, zinc displaces copper from copper sulfate compound so that copper is being free. This displacement reaction taking place because zinc is more reactive than copper. So this formed copper will form like a brown color precipitate on the zinc metal. One more example. When a piece of iron metal is placed in copper sulfate solution, then iron sulfate solution and copper metal are formed. So what is happening here? Copper sulfate solution is taken. As we know, it is blue colored solution. When an iron piece or iron metal rod or iron nail, if it is dropped into this copper sulfate solution, then as iron is more reactive than copper, iron sulfate will be formed, copper will be kicked out. Copper will be formed as metal, free metal. So equation you can see like this. So what is happening here? Initially copper sulfate is taken, which is in blue color. When iron reacts with it, iron will replace this copper metal because copper is less reactive than iron. So iron sulfate is formed. This copper will be like free metal in the solution. In this reaction, iron displaces copper from the copper sulfate solution. The deep blue color of the copper sulfate solution fades due to the formation of green solution of green color iron sulfate solution. A red-brown coating of copper metal is formed on the surface of iron metal because this is because of the free copper formed. This free copper formed will form a brown color deposit on the iron rod which is dipped into the copper sulfate solution. So what is happening here? Blue colored copper sulfate solution turning into green color because of the formation of iron sulfate. Iron sulfate is in the green color. So here what is happening? More reactive metal, iron, displacing less reactive copper metal. So this displacement reaction takes place because iron is more reactive than copper. Next type of chemical reactions are double displacement reactions. Those reactions in which two compounds react by an exchange of ions to form two new compounds are called as double displacement reactions. What is happening here? Two compounds are reacting, and these two compounds, when they are combining, they exchange their ions mutually. One ion from this compound will come to this compound, one ion from this compound will go and combine in the other compound, so that two new compounds are formed. So what is happening here? Mutual exchange of ions is happening, and hence two new compounds are formed. Such kind of reactions are called as double displacement reactions. You can see diagrammatically here. If you see, AB is a compound, CD is a compound. So before these two are the new compounds. When these two compounds are combined in the solution form, so see here, this D is coming and combining with A, and this B is going and combining with C. What is happening? They are replacing their ions. From CD, D is coming and combining with the A. From AB, B is going and combining with the C. So mutual exchange of ions is happening here, and finally two new compounds AD and CB are formed. This type of reactions are called double displacement reactions, and these are also called double decomposition reactions also, because first AB is decomposing and CD is also decomposing, and they are forming new compounds. So these are also called double decomposition reactions or double displacement reactions. For example, when barium chloride solution is added to sodium sulfate solution, then a white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed along with the sodium chloride solution. So what is happening here? Barium chloride and sodium sulfate, two solutions are taken, they are mixed each other. Then two new compounds are formed out of two. One is insoluble solid substance which is called barium sulfate. So hence this comes under double displacement reactions in which two compounds are exchanging mutually their ions. Here we can see equationally that. So barium chloride is one compound, sodium sulfate is one compound. When these two solutions, actually these two are soluble into water, they form solutions. So when these two solutions are so when these two solutions mix one into another, this sulfate ion will come and combine with barium, and this chloride ion come and combine with sodium, and hence they form barium sulfate and sodium chloride, two new compounds. So what happened here? Mutual exchange of ions happened, and hence two new compounds are formed. So this is a double displacement reaction or double decomposition reaction. In this reaction, two compounds barium chloride and sodium sulfate react to form new compounds barium sulfate and sodium chloride. An exchange of ions has taken place in this reaction. In this reaction, barium sulfate formed is a white insoluble solid called precipitate, which separates out suddenly from the solution. So here barium actually initially two solutions are taken which is transparent, actually both are transparent, they liquids, they seems like water. When these two are mixed, immediately white precipitate is formed. This is because of barium sulfate which is insoluble into water. Such kind of reactions in which a solid insoluble substance is formed by the reaction of two aqueous solutions are called as the precipitation reactions. So in this reaction, barium sulfate is a precipitate, and hence, and here This reaction is because of the mutual exchange of ions, hence it is a double displacement reaction, and it is also called here precipitation reaction. So for this reaction you can give three names. What are those? Double decomposition reaction, because barium chloride is splitting into barium and chlorine first, sodium sulfate is splitting into sodium ion and sulfate ion, and hence it is double decomposition. And what is happening next? Immediately the sulfate ion combining with barium, chlorine ion combining with sodium. So replacement is happening. Two ions are replaced. So it is called double displacement reaction also. And in this reaction especially a precipitate is formed, and hence it is also called precipitation reaction also. So these are the different types of reactions what we have seen. Let us see once. So here four types of reactions we have seen. What are those? Combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reactions, double displacement reactions. Out of them, the first one, combination reaction. So if two or more substances combine together to form a new substance, then they are called combination reactions. In these combinations we have seen again three types: combination of two elements to form new substance, combination of two compounds to form a new compound, the combination of an element and a compound to form a new compound. So these are all coming under combination reactions. Next, decomposition reactions. In the decomposition, what we said, a substance splits into two or more similar substances. So there are also different three kinds of decomposition reactions we have seen: thermal decomposition, the decomposition in sunlight, and electrical decomposition, that we said electrolysis. So these all are decomposition reactions. And next we have seen simple displacement, means a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its compound to form a new compound. So those are displacement reactions or simple displacement reactions. What is the fourth one? Double decomposition reaction. In this, what we said, two compounds mutually exchange their ions to form two new compounds. That is called double decomposition reaction or double displacement reactions. So the example what we have seen in that, formation of barium sulfate, that also come under precipitation reactions also. So based upon these four types of reactions, let us see few examples, simple examples here or exercise. First question: heating of calcium carbonate is which type of chemical reaction? These are taken from previous contest. So the question is like this: heating of calcium carbonate is in which type of chemical reaction? Out of four kinds, to what kind it belongs? They are asking here. Heating of calcium carbonate. Is it combination or decomposition or displacement or double displacement? What kind of reaction is this? Heating of calcium carbonate. So first let us say what happens if calcium carbonate is heated. We know when calcium carbonate is heated, it forms calcium oxide, which we also call quicklime, and carbon dioxide gas. So here calcium carbonate on heating splitting into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So what we can say, a compound splitting into two or more simpler substances. This is a definition for, yes, many of you are giving correct answer. It is, yes, correct. Decomposition reaction. It is coming under decomposition reaction. You see equationally, calcium carbonate is a compound. On heating, this is forming calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, two simpler substances. So one compound splitting into two or more simpler substances. It is chemical decomposition reaction. It is also called thermal decomposition also is said, because this decomposition is happening in the presence of heat. So this comes under thermal decomposition also. So B is correct answer for this. Next let us see one more question. When an iron nail is dipped in copper sulfate solution, why its color changes to green? Answers are given like this. Due to formation of iron sulfate, due to deposition of copper, due to hydrogen gas, all of these. So are these all of the correct answers? Check once. When iron nail is dipped in copper sulfate solution, why does its color change to green? So initially copper sulfate solution, as we have seen, its color is blue color. When an iron nail is dipped into the solution, the color changes to green color. This is due to the formation of, can you guess the answer? Is it A or B or C? Yes, many of you are trying to give the answer. But here, the correct answer is due to the formation of iron sulfate. Yes, because iron sulfate color is green. When blue colored copper sulfate is reacting with iron nail or iron is more reactive than copper, so that iron replaces copper from copper sulfate. Then what happens? Copper sulfate turns into iron sulfate solution. So this iron sulfate solution is in green color. So we can see like this. Initially, before the reaction, copper sulfate is in blue color. When you dip this iron nail into this iron in the iron nail reacts with copper sulfate and turns into iron sulfate. That formed copper forms a deposit on this copper iron nail. So deposition of copper also occurs, but the question is why the color changes to green. The solution color is changing to green because of the formation of green colored iron sulfate solution. So correct answer is now A. Next question. Which of the following reactions involves the combination of two elements? So we have seen while discussing about the combination reactions, there are three kinds of combinations. Combination of two elements, combination of two compounds, combination of an element and compound. Here they are asking out of the given reactions which is related to combination of two elements they are asking. See, the equations are given like this. First one, calcium oxide combining with carbon dioxide to form calcium carbonate. Second reaction, sodium combining with oxygen to form sodium oxide. Third reaction, sulfur dioxide reacting with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Last one, ammonia combining with hydrogen chloride to give ammonium chloride. Out of these four reactions, you see once which is having the combination of two elements. Yes, try the answer. Yeah, many of you are trying. Yes, exactly. Very nice. Many of you have given correct answer. That is B. In this reaction, sodium is an element which is combining with oxygen, which is also an element. Finally, they are forming a compound. So, combination of two elements is happening here in the B gas, sodium oxide formation. What is happening in the first one? Calcium oxide is a compound. Carbon dioxide is also a compound. So, combination of two compounds is happening here. It is also a combination, but combination of two compounds. If you see third one, sulfur dioxide is a compound. Oxygen is also a compound. Sorry, oxygen is an element. Carbon dioxide is a compound. So, compound sulfur dioxide and element oxygen both are combining to form a compound sulfur trioxide. So, we can say this is a combination of compound and an element. Last one, if you say, this is the combination of two compounds because ammonia is a compound. Hydrogen chloride is also a compound. and finally they are forming a new compound. Combination of two compounds. So the only one correct answer is B, in which sodium and oxygen, two elements are combining to form a new compound, sodium oxide. Next one, they have given an equation, zinc combining with sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate and hydrogen. The above reaction is, what they are asking, is it a decomposition reaction, is it synthesis, or combination, or single displacement reaction? What kind of reaction is this? Reaction of zinc with dilute sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate and hydrogen. To which category it comes under? Can anyone answer this? Yes, some of you are giving answers. Somebody told here A. This is wrong. Yes, you can answer in the live chat here. You can post the option. You can check it. Some of you are giving A. A means decomposition. No, it is not decomposition reaction. The correct answer is D. It is a displacement reaction or single displacement reaction. Why? Because zinc is combining with hydrogen sulfide. Here, hydrogen is being replaced by more reactive element zinc. So, zinc sulfate is formed. Hydrogen emitted in the form of gas. So, more reactive element displacing less reactive element hydrogen from its compound. So, new compound is formed. This reaction is called displacement reaction, is also called simple displacement reaction. So, D is a correct answer. So, there are some practice questions on the types of chemical reactions. Hope you understood the 4 types of chemical reactions. So, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and visit our website, that is aimstoday.in, www.aimstoday.in. There you can find the schedules for these live sessions, what classes are going to be next day, and on which topics they are going to be. You can see there the subject wise live session schedules there, and you can visit our programs also there in that website, and you can get latest updates on these live sessions, and even you can watch our recorded videos. If you miss any live session earlier, no worry, you can watch our these recorded versions in our YouTube channel as well as in the website also. In both you can find these recorded versions of these live sessions. You can find them. You can learn the subject there also. Thank you.